What's so funny is that the women that think that we could live in a community together and that we would all kumbaya together are living in delusion. They don't understand how women even operate. Women are just as evil as men. When I worked at the Spicy Dance Club, it's essentially like prison. Everybody has their cell blocks. Everybody has their rations. Everyone's looking for their piece of the pie to survive that day. Another reason why a lot of women actually do work with even though I hate the girly pops don't just magically work together. The hierarchies in the strip club, it's kind of like the baddest that makes the most money is at the top. At the bottom, it's the basket case that makes no money and she spends her time getting high in the bathroom. And then everyone else in between. When you move around in the hierarchy, absolutely. Just like prison, you are out for yourself. Even when you think that you might have made a friend at work that you might make money with, you're gonna find that actually snitching on you in the office after y'all made a few bands together. Because now that she saw how you run the game, she wants to get you fired so that she's the only one that runs that game on men and makes money. Women thinking that women magically work together is so funny to me. Feminist creators on this app live in complete delusion about who women are. Because it sounds nice to talk about men 24/7 and say men are this, men are that, but in reality, women are just as terrible, especially to each other. Men collaborate with each other and they stick beside each other no matter what. They collaborate together to dog out women. Women, however, men turn against each other so quickly. If you appear like you're doing better than them even slightly, bitch, you're going down. If you appear like you're happy and confident, bitch, you're going down. How dare you? Because this other bitch that thinks she's at the top now sees you as a threat. I think men absolutely compete with each other, but I think with them, it's more like a friendly competition. Don't get me wrong though, they will also cross each other. Women will create delusions in their minds about why they need to take another woman down. Just because to them, they felt like they were small, weak. Meanwhile, you're literally just minding your business.
Bit harder. Go on. Hit it.
Give up with it.
You call yourself police force. No force in you.
What's crazy about this is this guy will have to go home and act like his wife's day was harder than his. Try to keep a smile on his face. Because if he doesn't, that'll be trouble.
Yep.
No, Bella was going under him.
Du, där kan du inte parkera.
Customer states rear tire is loose. Yep.
What the? She drove here.
I Don't Need a Man, Part 1. Oh my god, I really missed it. Second attempt of I Don't Need a Man. Oh my god, I need a man.
Strong, independent woman? I'm a strong, independent woman. No? Okay, let's try another. Doesn't need a man. I don't need no man.
Oh, okay, I get it.
See, if you have to announce someone, everyone is probably not true because it would speak for itself.
I get it now. It's so funny.
That's better than one cover girl. Two cover girls.
Crews are on the scene of a plane crash near Dallas Executive Airport.
I can't say that surprises me.
Oh shoot!
Where I live, every girl's an activist, and then I met a girl from like a small town. She was like, I do construction and I don't watch the news, which is like pretty like, yeah, but then I thought about it, and girl construction worker and girl activist is kind of the same job. You mostly just stand there and hold a sign, you know what I mean?
I live in an area that was affected by the hurricane, and everywhere I go, there is cleanup happening right now.
It's 90-degree weather right now, and there are crews of men cleaning everything up from the hurricane. I have yet to see a single woman doing any of the cleanup. I'm sure there's a rare one out there, but I haven't seen them. The reality is the majority of the hard, back-breaking work that is done in society is done by men.
Yep.
The linemen that were camping in their trucks for 3 days at the fairgrounds, all of them were men. So if you're a screaming, high-body, fat feminist, at least thank the patriarchy for always cleaning up after natural disasters. And yes, the machine sound in the background is being operated by a man.
Going viral online of a dozen women being asked the following question: do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no. And only one said she thought women needed a man in their lives, only one. But when men were asked a similar question, do we need women, most of them said yes. So why do you think that is?
Because men are useless.
My Volvo XC40. Look at this 360 view.
Like everybody else!
The women start with the simplest job on site, bundling the logs. But even this comes with its own health warning. Now it's time for the women to show the men what they're made of.
Did it okay. Natural.
She's the worst person I've ever seen try to bust.
They're not cut out for logging. They're too pretty. They're good looking.
Definitely get the sense that the guys think we're like these kind of little girls. It's really tough. But I appreciate that they need it done so much quicker than that.
Oh, they make it look really, really easy. It's not easy.
Do we fire him?
Not yet.
If a woman tries to go into the oil rig, whatever field, a lot of guys are gonna straight up laugh at her, not even give her the opportunity to prove herself, basically be like, hey, you're a fucking woman. And more male-dominated fields tend to be more discriminatory towards women.
Where did you hear that? What are your sources?
Trust me, bro.
I don't believe you. That's really weird because women come in and instead they're glorified. The opposite happens. They're not repressed, they're fucking glorified. Here's an example of this. Have you heard of the first female Navy SEAL? Do you know her name?
No.
Okay, she doesn't exist.
Gotcha!
That's why you've never heard her name, because even though the Navy has done everything in its power to recruit women to be Navy SEALs, treat them like fucking gold, put out every ad you can imagine, they want one in the worst way so they can be like, this is the first one. None of them can actually do the training. Not one. Their argument here of, but wait, they'll be laughed at. They have every government incentive on planet Earth to not be laughed at. Oil rigs will be given incentives, for instance, and women just physically can't fucking do the job.
And I know they hate to admit this, but you just can't do everything. And modern women just can't seem to accept that. Men are better at some things than you are. But society has told these modern women, you've got to be the best. You've got to outclass the man. And so they try to do things that men can do rather easily. And they look stupid doing it.
He's like, every time I talk about cooking, and I'm like, I'll do it. He's like, yeah, down.
Outside, no worry, right now. I'm just talking to my own girl.
See, they love you.
Everybody loves y'all. Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna work out early on Monday. 40 years old.
Okay, so you're a rocket scientist. That don't impress me much. So you got the brains, but have you got the touch?
Listening to men explain their blue-collar job, except this is me 90% of the time. Construction management is a little bit different than being an actual construction worker, cutting the pipes, hammering things down. You're not blue collar. You don't, look at you. You have makeup on. Your makeup is perfect.
Okay, yeah.
That's where we
See, look
go.
at that. Look at that, dude.
I got Mike calling me.
That's some proper form right there.
What's up?
I think is more dangerous, a woman with a gun or a woman in a car?
That is tough. That's a tough one, all right.
A few moments later.
Most people would say the former, but now after seeing this clip, I guess we know it's the latter.
So I was moving recently and we were looking at moving companies, but because of the algorithm that kept showing us this one company that was like an all-girl moving company, like a shitty moving company, right? And honestly, I'm not even saying that to be controversial, but like, has any dude here ever been moving with his chick and halfway through is like, babe, you gotta start a company. You are crushing it. You gotta take this pro, baby. All right, how about this? All-girl moving company called the Ex-Wives, and they just take half your stuff.
What happens, do you think, if you follow women's advice to your tribe?
Everything will fail.
Everything will fail.
Since women thinking by feelings, you know?
Just then, by sheer coincidence.
Over there! Get it going! The thing's gonna blow up! Oh! Sorry. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Amy Jo, come inside. It's dangerous.
As they say to me, I have to be more in the touch with my feminine side. So I'm gonna do the dishes, and then I will go outside to drive badly.
That's what feminists are doing. They're standing up and educating.
No, they're asking for government power and government handouts. They go around depriving men of jobs because you have to have quota of so many women. Assuming that women have been treated unfairly, you don't fight an evil by adopting it and practicing it.
Well, what should they do? Be nice little girls and not say anything and stay home and break bread?
No.
Well, what should they do?
Go into any career of their choice except longshoreman or professional football player as they're trying today.
Well, I'm glad somebody said it. These modern women be out here trying to do anything and everything, be falling behind because they're not good at it, trying to take a man's spot when they should really work on the stuff that they're actually good at. But why do they do that when they can get in a man's way?
For us anymore, so we have to get out there in the workforce.
I'm sick of your crybaby bullshit.
Right, because you voted for laws that give the jobs to you instead of to us. You know that, right? You have to know about this, right? Women have been saying for decades, they've been saying, we get 77 cents on the... Women want to get paid equal. They don't want to work equal. They just want to get paid equal. So they went to the government and they voted for the government to make things equal. And now that things are equal, women have raised their standards and they're saying, men can't provide anymore. You voted for that. You know that, right? The government takes money from men and gives it to corporations if they meet diversity quotas. So we are being forced to pay to put ourselves out of work so you can be equal. Men and women don't put the same amount of effort into the workplace, and so they get different rewards out of it, but women wanted to make it equal. But it's not because you're running faster than us, it's because you voted to redistribute the trophies. This situation is like a dog that wants you to throw a ball, but it won't drop it. We want men to pay. Okay, let me go get a job. No, you can't have that. That's for women. We need equality. Okay, then go date the men who have more money. Where have all the good men gone? I mean, you have to know about this, right? Everyone knows this, right? Please tell me that you...
Once again, they would rather be in a man's face, in a man's way, thinking they can, or trying to prove that they can do something better than a man, when if they would just follow their skills and their talents, the world would be a better place. But they gotta prove the men wrong.
And this is the best that you could... Let's go, chop, chop. Here we go.
Many hours later.
Oh my god, I'm so impressed.
That's a pretty low bar.
Lift it up, lift it up. I think I'll pull it out for one more. How long are the nails compared to this? Like, how deep does it go?
Meanwhile.
My vision starts to go off.
Whoever invented these stringy gates is not a woman. Literally, this could only be a man's idea. Whoever put barbed wire on this stupid freaking stringy gate, also a man. A woman would never. Oh, I can't even shut it. Come on, come on, come on. I mean, really, Keith Allen, you expect me to shut this gate? With what muscles, honey? With what muscles? I just want you all to know I'm not gonna be able to get this. I'm physically stuck. Said every bad word I can think of. Didn't help. I'm just gonna jimmy rig it.
And then I said, how hard can it be to poise to it? And that time it like hit me in my chest and I was like, oh my God, that is so real. That is so real. It's just too real. So literally how hard can it be, boys?
What comes to your mind if I say what would you say men are better at than women?
I think men are better at probably
It's like muscle stuff. Usually we're pretty good at.
I think women are just as strong as men.
Physically?
Yeah, I do.
But they're not though, right? She's not okay. She's not crying. I didn't ask anything. I was just asking what's the difference between men and women.
You can tell by the look in her face, she actually believes what she's talking about. Modern women don't really fully understand the strength of a man. They just don't, and they don't want to. Men have been saying, listen, we're taking it easy on you guys. We got the training wheels on. You guys don't truly understand that if there was, say, even a wrestling match, we were just horsing around, we were just playing around. It's over for you guys. There have been plenty of women on the internet come up here and say, I did not realize how strong my boyfriend was, how strong my brother was, my little brother. I used to pick on him. When we used to get into fights, I used to beat him up. But now I'm 20, he's 12, and he's physically stronger than I am. I mean, like, I tried to move and I couldn't do anything. Exactly. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Are men stronger than women?
How are we quantifying strength? Hold on.
Physically stronger.
Well, how do you quantify?
Explosive power. Grip strength is like one of the best ways to quantify.
One thought that I've been having is, how can we quantify strength and, in what situations? Because I remember you brought up somebody had brought up the situation with the roommates and who would I want to defend me? I would want the strongest person to defend me.
Yeah,
okay.
Here's maybe a good way you can quantify it. When you're walking around in your daily life, who do you see lift up more heavy stuff? Men or women? Usually. Who's lifting up the heavier
Does that
stuff?
include heavy people?
It includes everything. Everything that could ever be in existence. Who's picking up the heavier stuff? Who's carrying the couches? Who's loading the trucks? Who's who's doing all that stuff?
Actually, my response to that is both, because my stepdad will usually be one of the ones moving stuff, and then he will recruit my younger sister, who is super heavy in the gym and all that, over another.
Is your
male in the
stepdad
house.
stronger than your sister?
I don't know. They're about equal. She probably works out more than him, but he's a police officer, so.
That's also the argument that
I used to get into a lot of physical altercations with young men in my high school days. And I got away with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got away with it. They would piss me off. They would say the wrong thing. They would bother me, whatever. And I would get to using these hands. And I remember there was a football player who pissed me off so bad and was making fun of me. And when I tell you, I went up to him and I grabbed his textbook and I hit him in the face with his own textbook. And I'm not proud of it. I'm not pleased. However, the restraint that he had, and I'm grateful, because he was a football player in high school. And I'm only 5'2", okay? Could barely run and passed them little fitness tests that we used to take in high school. That was a thing I was doing in high school. I was so angry, and I had like this visceral hate for men in high school because of many different things. I have explained on this page that I am a survivor of many things. And it showed when I was in high school. I was always very angry. I was very cold. I was very distant. I isolated myself. So men were a huge trigger. One day when I was still in high school, I think I might have been 17, getting ready to leave for undergrad, my mother and my brother got into some verbal altercation, verbal spat, and he was calling her all types of things. She was calling him all types of shit. Like, it was just disrespectful. And here goes that trigger. And here I go trying to find myself to defend my mom. Even though my mom was in the wrong, right? And my brother was telling me, yo, back up. Like, back up. Stay out of it. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Mind your business, right? Why you taking up for her? Because in my mind, I'm like, you're a young man. You should never talk to a woman like that. You should never say anything. And in his defense, right, he was like, so y'all get to just say whatever y'all want to me. Y'all get to call me, at the time we were still labeling people as the R word, right? Things like that. And he's like, y'all get to say that. You get to say I have these mental illness, and y'all get to, right? And he was right? Like, you don't get to use people's mental illness and things against them when you're angry, and then you expect them to just be like, well, I'm a man, so I'm not gonna, defend myself, right? He was correct in that moment. But of course, I don't know any better. All I see is, you're a man, you're talking to our mother this type of way. No. And he kept on saying, back up, don't get in my face, mind your business, right? And I in my mind, I'm like, trigger, trigger, trigger. So I learned my lesson that day, because I got up in his face. And my brother I'm the 5'2". My brother and my sister, I'm older, they got the height. My sister might be about 5'8", 5'9". My brother's close to 6 feet tall. I didn't get height at all. I'm only 5'2". And, he was doing a lot of weights, and, he's a big dude, right? And before I knew it, after he had asked on numerous occasions to stop and leave him alone and don't get in his face and all these things, and here I am, just defend mommy, and you can't do this and you shouldn't do that, right? Because that's all I knew. Before I knew it, my brother had his hands around my neck. And I remember swinging and trying my all to just get him off me. And it just wasn't working. And my mother was the one that was like, get off of her. Like, at that point, we were like, get off of her. Get your hands from around her neck. I say all this to say that after that day, I never got in a man's face. My brother taught me a huge lesson that day.
That's what I'm saying. You guys don't truly understand until it's forced. You really don't, in this world where men set up to where you can go off and do your thing and be autonomous, you don't truly understand how powerful a man is because he leaves you alone most of the time. But when you start to get in his face and back him in a corner, what do you think is going to happen? It would behoove you at some point in time to drop that pride, drop that ego, and shut up.
Yeah. Where do I put it? On the ground? Who needs a man? Not me, baby. Not me.
See? Oh my. There's no oil. Now oil is coming, okay? Yeah. Yes, sir, I'm recording it. And I do have a witness in here. Somebody put windshield washer or something? Something like that. So the car was getting fucked up?
No, I don't know. She's in front of it. Oh, but hey, you know, tell her washer fluid is not working. Don't do that.
Okay.
And I was like, yes, they are. They're loyal. They're always happy to see you. They're looking for something to do for you. What could they bring you? they just want to be admired and appreciated. And yeah, if you treated them like dogs, everything would turn out much better. Much, much better.
What do you wish more women knew about how men operated?
There's 10,000 times more going on inside the head of a man than you have any idea. He's carrying burdens that you don't have a clue about, and he don't know how to express them, and he don't know what to do about it, and he figures if he puts it out there and communicates it, he's just going to be shot down, called a fool, called weak, so he carries it inside, and you have no clue the burdens and the hell that most men are carrying inside and not even showing you. I wish more women understood that.
What's something that guys do that girls will never understand?
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm.
What's something that guys do that girls will never understand?
If you enjoyed this video, I promise you will love this next video. I will see you there.
What's your name and what score do you think you're gonna get on the punching machine?
Madison at 1,000!
Dang! Okay, 588. What do you have to say for yourself?
I got 588, y'all. What's your name and what score are you gonna get?
Leilani Boring, I think I'm gonna get an 800. Okay, what do you have to say for yourself? I just feel sorry for myself, that's all. What's your name and what score do you think you're gonna get on the punching machine?
I'm Alexa, I think I'm gonna get a 900.
Okay. Oh my goodness! How do you feel about your score?
I would like to thank my ex. And all our shitty exes.
What's your name and what score do you think you're gonna get on the punching machine?
Round one, fight.
500. 500, all right. How do you feel about your score? Oh my goodness.
And this is a man with a relatively mild attitude, relatively mild demeanor. Just, yeah, it's a competition. Let's see what we got. Not even trying.
Men are so funny because they'll be like, we're biologically stronger. We're stronger than women.
Well, in point of fact, they are. But I'm sure that one isn't saying that just to state the obvious. I'm sure that one has a point to make in regards to why one thinks that that is funny.
And then like one bad thing happens in their lives.
Oh, here we go. This little narrative.
Like, God forbid their parents get divorced when they're 12. Or like someone cheats on them and they're like, I'm actually never going to recover. Actually, that's my whole personality now. And actually, I'm going to be mean to everyone in my life because of what Rebecca did when we were 17. And I'm like, yes, you're so strong. You strong man.
Who else noticed that delectable little bit of irony in which that individual has apparently failed to notice the ever-increasing popularity over the years of many individuals, and that includes women as well as men, using an event or events in their lives that they consider to be traumatic and making it the entire focal point of their entire life, if not the basis of their personalities. But I understand that it is absolutely so much easier to focus on men in these cases because that is what is popular, as opposed to noticing that individuals, instead of trying to heal from their traumas and learn from them, are allowing them to fester and grow and are not being able to heal from them.
Can you at least agree with this? Most men are stronger than most women.
I don't know the statistics. No.
There's not a f***ing
Life
statistic.
experience.
Holy Search Google for average grip strength of men versus women. 90% of females produced less force than 95% of males.
So 95% of males
And
were
this-
stronger than 90% of females.
This is grip strength. This is not fighting strength.
Let's just say you had to choose blind. A super tough, awesome ass-kicking chick who knows ninjutsu, or a UFC fighter dude. Who would you roll for? Who would you hope came out the other end?
She's not gonna.
But if you had to choose one or the other blind, right? You're rolling the dice, so you can only choose one. Do you want a man to come out or do you want a woman to come out? You don't know what the variables of them are going to be. You only know this one task, which is that they're going to defend your life. Which one would you pick? Which one would you pick?
I just want to let you two gentlemen know I'm witnessing the case against the 19th Amendment play out in front of my eyes right now.
Who started the rumor that men are stronger than women? Okay, muscle-wise, yeah, my husband tackles grown men for a living, and like that doesn't interest me, but I'm talking about quite literally everything else. Number one, God doesn't give any challenge to a person he doesn't think they can handle, and that's why women get pregnant and men don't. Now, would it be nice if men could carry children? I guess, but like my husband drinks 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. I don't trust my child in his uterus. While we're on the topic of diet, this man consumes a lot of grams of protein and not a lot of grams of fiber. This man wouldn't last a day with postpartum constipation. My second point is that my husband got a cold and he's still recovering 2 years later. Men gave birth, forget an epidural, they would make it like a full-on dry bar experience. And don't even get me started on maternity leave. Can you imagine my husband giving birth and then having a football game 6 weeks later?
Her husband, by the way, a football player, a professional football player, by the way.
Men have more muscle mass than women by default. A man could be the same weight as me, we could do the same exercises, that man will burn more calories and they will put on muscle much faster than me. This is why in sports there's men leagues and women's leagues. Like I could be the best at a sport in my team, but you throw me on a fucking league with men, I would get destroyed. Like that is just how this goes. And I don't think that's feminist or woke, that's logical sense. I have no problem admitting that you will always burn more calories than me. Like that's just how it is. You have more muscle mass, you're a man, like it just is.
Can y'all believe that society has made it okay to believe that both men and women are equal beings?
How can you be so out of touch with reality? So I just saw a debate, and it's a man debating a woman, and the man says, can we at least agree on this? Most men are stronger than most women. And the girl looks at him, and she says, well, I don't know the statistics on that. Then this man says, well, if you have this super good kickboxer and just all grit, just real strong woman, and you had a UFC fighter, strong UFC fighter, great UFC fighter, Who would you choose to protect you? And she still goes on refraining from answering the question. The simple question. Now, if roles were reversed and she was asking the man a simple question as, if you have a man and a woman applying for a job to babysit your child, and you're looking through the applications, who are you choosing? Now, as a man getting asked that question, I would simply say I'd choose the woman to come and babysit my child. Now, I'm not choosing the woman because I'm anti-man and pro-woman. I'm simply choosing the woman because of the experiences that I've encountered in my life, because of the differences in skill sets men and women have. The same reason why choosing a man would be the most logical answer in terms of protection.
So, you know, you have some people that just really don't understand. They don't comprehend what's being talked about. And they just, honestly speaking, want to say silly stuff. I'm guessing this is a guy in the comments. He says, well, there's ways to unpack this. Women and men have chronically misunderstood each other since the dawn of time. Okay? He goes on and says, so there's a good chance that the woman is thinking of strength as an all-encompassing term. She's not. She just didn't want to answer the question. If you saw the original video, which with him explaining, you didn't actually have to see the original video, because we're talking about if a man and a woman, both pretty strong, but we're looking for somebody, the strongest. Which one are you looking for? Which one are you picking in this example? Probably the man. Most people are probably going to say the man. If you're looking for somebody to watch the children based on skills, based on the environment, you're probably going to say a woman. Just nothing else known, probably going to say a woman based on the skill set. One is better than the other, generally speaking. But some people just want to talk. He says, so there's a good chance that the woman is thinking of strength as an all-encompassing term. She wasn't. She just didn't want to answer the question, by the way. So he says there's physical strength, but there is also emotional strength, which women are better at than men. We're not talking about that. Now you're just talking. Stay out of the conversation. We got to start using our brains to think critically about what's being said. This is what happens with a lot of these modern women. They sit up here and they're just talking. They're running their mouths because they want to be in the conversation. They insert themselves in things they have no business in. We can circle this right on back around to physical strength. You don't have any business in this conversation. This specific part of the conversation, you can have a comment, concern, opinion, whatever that is. But when it comes down to it, you're not in this conversation. You cannot match in general the strength of a man. Okay, so this guy says, still talking about emotional strength here. Men confuse bottling their emotions with having emotional strength, but it's the opposite. He's going on a tangent that nobody told him to go on. Nobody's even talking about that. He says, men actually struggle with being vulnerable, which is considered a weakness in our eyes. My man, once again, the environment matters. In war, which by and large, if you look at statistics, but you don't want to do that, in war, a man's probably going to be there. In competition, a man is thinking, as most men do, I need to conserve. I need to pull back on giving out information that will allow the opponent to take advantage of me, to get the upper hand on me. Now, if I'm in a context of where I'm with my family or my boys, people that I trust, then it's okay to be vulnerable then. And even if we add on, because you're talking about women are emotionally stronger, women are better than that. To use your logic here, if we're talking about being with your woman or a woman, a lot of these modern women, you're trying to be emotionally vulnerable with them, and they're taking advantage of that. They become the enemy with their emotional strength. Why don't they have emotional strength to stop being out here yelling and hollering and screaming? Y'all, what you're confusing strength with is that women are crying. They're talking. You're confusing strength and discipline with sharing. Just because I'm sharing something with you, just because I'm saying something, does not mean I'm effective at it. To use your logic. Okay? So he ends up by saying basically, it's also a known fact that bottling emotions causes wear and tear on your body over the years. That's for both people. Talking about stress is what he's talking about. Also, just because a man has muscle mass, that doesn't necessarily mean he'd know how to properly use it in a life or death situation. Again, not what we're discussing. We're just discussing in general, right? He said, or that he'd even be able to react. Women have a higher tendency to actually come to women's aid in real life. Men fall victim to the bystander effect a lot more than you'd think. We don't think anything. We think that men used to do that, as evidenced by women saying, why don't men help us out anymore? Why don't men approach? Well, where are the men that are generous and chivalrous? Where are they at? On the sideline, minding their business, because they've been told to stay out of a woman's face. You think that's emotional strain? Being told, leave me alone. I don't need your help. Go away. Stop talking to me until I need your protection. And then now we want to, oh man, it's the bystander effect. Oh, it's a lot more prevalent and a lot more common than you think. So basically we're looping back around to the man is the problem. I get it.